Good evening, folks. It's Red County Blue Nation, Westcliff, Colorado, great states of Americans. Stephen Rorick, James McMahon, Michael Boring at the wheel here. Jimmy, how you doing this evening, buddy?
We're doing okay. One day at a time and getting through it. Pretty sad day today about Charlie Kirk, but hopefully things don't go too sideways. But that was a pretty big blow to the light on the planet. How you doing, Steven?
I'm good as a government check, which today is still good.
It's still good.
Tomorrow, no comment.
You never know.
I mean, I'm hanging in there. I'm the same as always, right? I'm torn between all of the good stuff in this world and doing the right thing, and then just watching the derelictness just run rampant, man. Makes a guy want to twist some necks. I won't lie. And that's before I heard about the Charlie Kirk deal.
Yeah. That's like the icing on the cake. But we lost one heck of a soldier today. And it's he just had a little child. He's got 2 children, a wife that he left behind, so we need to keep him in our thoughts. There's no doubt about that. So but yeah, I don't know how other people are going to react. I'm really concerned about it. Especially with all this asinine stuff that's going on where they're still using non-governmental agencies,
The problem is
organizations to push their propaganda.
the left is delusional. They're mentally compromised, right? They don't have the ability to reason with reality. That's the biggest problem, right? So, I mean, we were just talking to Mike just a few minutes here before the broadcast, and he just seen on Black Lives Matter that, they're trying to say that black people are entitled to violence. Well, but you are, right? But so am I. So try that shit right up in my face and see what happens to you, right? Because I'm not going to just go down without a fight, right? I'm going to try to get to your neck before you can get to mine. So yeah, okay, you're entitled to violence, but so am I. So that's where we're at as a species. We think we're all sophisticated and we're all educated and we're all up and above all that. Man, at the end of the day, we ain't nothing but birds and the bees, right? Just a bunch of carnal shit everywhere here.
And it doesn't have to be that way.
It don't, but it is.
That we're going to have to go through a chapter in humanity.
For my whole life, right, I was brought up pretty pure and pretty sheltered, right? Living on the ranch, running the tractors, way my mom taught us, way she took care of us, right? We was up there with that, right? Do unto others as you want others to do unto you. I've never in my whole life, folks, punched somebody in the face, right? Because for me, it's a kill shot, right? I mean, if I come at you, you better be ready, right? Because, I mean,
If somebody
it's not for fun for me. Fight means kill, right? So
yeah. So here again, poking that bear, poking the people that are built that way. We won't start it. We'll damn sure finish
what's
it.
Marley say? We don't want no trouble, but if you give us trouble, we'll give it to you double.
We'll give it to you double. And it's not that we want to repay evil for evil, but as men, we have a responsibility to the men and the women.
Well, it's a defense mechanism.
Absolutely. It's built in at the factory. It's a natural reaction to say, wait a minute. And these politicians that have sold us out and they're not upright, there's no moral integrity, they're held to a higher standard of behavior. And they become the worst people on the planet selling...
Politicians as well as judicial. The justice system, the judges are as compromised as anybody, and the DAs too, right? Anybody that's on Soros's payroll, which is pretty deep and pretty wide.
I mean, we even had a derelict one here, Linda Stanley, and I don't know that Soros would have given her a dime, as stupid as she was. But we're not paying attention as a people being a steward of the republic. We're the stewards of the republic.
I don't think they're steward of anything.
No, I'm just saying we haven't been.
But I mean, so back to what I was saying about the left, right? And so it's our problem that it's getting out of hand, right? But the mental compromise of the left is
It's perverted.
I mean,
It's dark.
It's all of that plus. I mean, it's just
in 10 times.
It's beyond comprehension, right? There's no reasoning ability left to them.
There's no soundness at all.
None.
They're hollow, dark. I mean, it's about as pitiful as it's going to get. They got no principle at all. They don't even understand what principle is. The thing of main concern in making something stand and causing what causes families to stand strong and others to stand weak. What causes strength and what causes weakness? Where is all that? There's principles. There's patterns of behavior.
Well, and for me, right?
And them people are so far-fetched, Nugan. They've been handed so much money. Their soul is contaminated.
It's all mathematics.
It is. It absolutely is.
You can explain it by numbers.
Absolutely.
And when the numbers, right? That's back to what we said it for like 100 times, right? It's the fundamental of how money, energy, resources is delegated and maintained and controlled and spent and all of that. How your energy is delegated throughout this world, right?
Well, I mean, a very really good contrast is here's Biden and Kamala and that administration during that 4 years, and then you get one person that shows up, gets elected. Now you have a leader. You don't have politicians that have been. Biden was a politician for what, 50 years? So here again, now you got a statesman. You got somebody that's interceding on the behalf of the people. And a lot of people, oh no, Donald Trump's just another whore in the White House. Okay, well, let's go with that. Let's just go ahead and be completely hopeless and dismal. Because that's what a lot of people are thinking. And it's just a big old...
That's why ultimately at the end, I'm not riding or dying with any of that. Whatever's inside right here and whatever that connection I have to the higher being, the midway station in the center of the universe, the rest of that, I'm not...
It's just noise.
Well, it is what it is, but I'm
just noise.
I'm not associated with that, and I'm damn sure not going to ride or die with that. Right? I'm not going to say, well, I stand for this, or I'm going to... Man, the only thing I'm going to die for is myself.
And that's kind of how the world has been conformed, is that mentality.
But I don't think...
And that's okay.
I don't think that it is at all, because they're standing for shit that doesn't even mean anything. At least I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing.
Right.
When my pistol just went off in my pocket the other day, folks, I could have been dead, but I'm not. Right? So my righteousness is still within the parameter of the universe. My angel is still looking out for me. I could have gotten smoked. The judgment the other couple days ago, I almost got smoked, folks, but I'm still here to talk about it, right? So I know that whatever I'm doing, at the end of the day, I don't care. I really don't. Right?
And that's significant.
Well, it is. That's what I'm saying. I don't care about somebody else or what they think or what they say. All I know is what I do. And I'm doing the best I can, and that's all I got.
Right. Yeah.
Righteous is what righteous does. That's a quote from Steve Rorick. Just saying. But yeah, I mean, tragedy, right? I mean, Mr. Kirk, right? I really didn't understand or wasn't that privy to what he's been doing. I know
I've followed him for 8 years. A stand-up person that shows the difference between right and wrong, what makes right, what makes wrong. And it uses the scripture to define it. And people don't like it.
No, they don't like it.
They despise that.
And,
They despise somebody learning from the scripture and then sharing it.
And the ugly part about it is it's like 80-90% of the people agree, and then you got this one little small little. I mean, is this MK Ultra? Is this
Black Lives Matter?
gender bending?
God only knows.
Gender bending drugs, all this.
It's all satanic.
It is, but it's like it's mathematically it just doesn't add up, or it does add up. It adds up to the wickedness.
Sure. Yeah.
Right, and so I mean, if you can't agree with righteousness, then you must be
Unrighteous.
There you go.
Pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
Pretty simple. So yeah, I don't know what we're going to wake up to in the world in the morning or the next month. But that was a pretty bad shot the old devil let go there, or whatever you can call it, whatever, math or science or shit, what you call it, whatever you want. That man has been he's been interceding. He's interceding on the younger generation for the 100-year war. See, that's how this man thought. He's thinking God's in control, but I'm going to do what I can for the long term. I got to plant seeds of influence to maybe keep these children from falling to the wayside. Because Common Core, those kids that are in college now got the Common Core up in them. They're lost. They're deceived. They have nothing.
They got nothing.
So maybe we could have taught them, maybe Charlie could have been a Muslim, and he could have talked about how great the Muslim religion is. How you could beat your wife and all kinds of good things. But he didn't. He talked about Christianity and Christ. And that's where the libtards can't go there. That is the ultimate enemy. It's somebody that has a Christ-centered life. Ultimate enemy. And I think that's why he lost his life today. Is they knew in the long run the seeds of truth that he was planting. And he's fervent. Well, he was fully persuaded. There's no double-mindedness in him.
Hopefully, that it's not like the old tactics where you take out the general and the whole army folds, right? Hopefully what this does is reinforce all of the people that listened to Charlie and agreed with him and wanted to do better. Hopefully you will do more now. I mean, it's almost ornery that it takes something of this magnitude to make your ass wake up and do more, right?
Yeah. So there again, he was the tip of the spear. And the man stood, he was a young man too. I think he was like, was he 37 maybe?
I
Just
don't
had
know.
another small child. That's 2 children and a wife he left behind. But he was a man. Self-made, no college guy. He was a man. He made his own. He made his own way through the grace of God and the gift that God gave him. But at the end of the day, it begs us as individuals to say, what am I doing? Here, this guy, he was a beacon. Millions of people. I mean, I'd seen the people in the bar today, and every one of them go, you know Charlie? I watch Charlie Kirk all the time. There was a few people, Charlie who? But anyways, at the end of the day, this is a big deal. And he was very politically correct. He held his demeanor. He was very upright and polite, but he's also strong in the light. When somebody come at him with a stupid, or it's not a stupid question, it's just somebody in the dark that has no idea about what makes right and what makes wrong. Because most people, well, I don't know what makes right. I don't know right from wrong. Shoo, if it feels good, just go ahead and do it. That's where most people's mentality's at. If it's okay for me, it'd be all right. But that wasn't the degree of conviction that man, that Charlie portrayed. He said, no, I have to act according to the way I'm teaching. And he did. And for what happened today is just most of the people that I talked to that I know that knew him just said it's a very, very sad day.
All I can say is, man, I hope that it lights the fire.
Amen. Yeah. So anyways, getting back to the real life and the real time.
Yeah, there's a lot of sad shit, man, day in and day out, right? And I mean,
You have to endure it.
well, and that's one of them things, right? I mean, he was a prominent person, but there's many figures that happens that nobody even knows, right? It's only your family or whatever, even though they had the same kind of values. So
Absolutely.
hopefully that,
He was a spotlight. He was a beacon.
hopefully his passing and what has happened will ignite the passion within the people to do better. I mean, that's what we've talked about all the time.
All
folks.
the
It's
time.
doing better.
Yeah, let's get involved.
Do the right thing here.
A republic is designed for the people, not the government.
So let's talk about getting involved.
So getting involved, yeah, absolutely. So
So-
we've got quite a bit to talk about and we may be able to write an article. Reggie was receptive about getting an article in. Number one, about current events, what's going on with the, what is it? The little 82 thing?
Proposition 82.
Proposition 82. Not only that, but also we need some stronger leadership in this valley. We need competent leadership.
That's why, as bad as I hate to say it, it's like it almost takes something like Charlie Kirk to wake somebody dumbass up, right? Everybody's so complacent. Everything's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You're either on one side of the fence, right? Either everything is fine or your ass is struggling, right? That's the only two kind of ways of the road right now, folks. Either you think is everything's fine, it's gravy, or your ass is struggling, you can't do anything because you're struggling so hard to keep up with this world that you can't pay attention to it. That's where they got the pretty much, there is hardly any middle ground there.
And Steve, the way you're defining that too is a lot of people are complacent because they're content with their
You can call it complacency and
their monetary
it's gravy.
independence.
They ain't hurt, man. Everything is fine. They're gravy, honey. We got whatever we got. Everything is fine.
And then what's the other side of the coin?
You're struggling so hard that you can't pay attention to nothing but what you're struggling for is try to make ends meet. Can't pay attention to anything else. That's where me and you fit in.
Well, I got a just balance, I think. I've struggled with some money here the last, I don't know, I guess 5-6 years at least.
Well, yeah, so I mean...
I took a hell of a whooping.
You and I are not in a position to really do what we want to do with the podcast and everything else because we're over here struggling financially. And it is what it is. I'm not bitching or moaning. I'm just saying my life is not plush. I have to struggle every day and contemplate and go without so that I can try to make this puzzle fit together. I don't have extra, right? There's no extra for me.
Right. And so we've got complacency, and then we've got people working so hard they can't be involved in things that we're talking about. You and I are we're stepping out and trying to
we
make.
didn't care so much about what we're doing, and that's part of, I'll honestly say this, that sometimes I honestly think if I was a multimillionaire, I probably wouldn't give a shit either. Probably wouldn't. Right? I would still know all the stuff I know, but would I fight so hard for what I'm doing if I had plenty, if my life was plush? Probably not. Honestly, probably not. I'd be more worried about where I was going to go or what my grandkids were doing or...
Well, and there you go. they'll take care of it. The elected officials, the people we elected, will, and not only that, but they're governed by some pretty harsh laws. So if they do something stupid and they hurt us,
well,
we got consequences that we can.
That's a good point there, and so I think there's some disassociation from that. So you make a really good point, but from my observation, I don't think they ever even think about that. And not only don't they think about it, they don't care what your elected official is doing. I have enough money that I don't care what you do, Billy Bob Biden. Don't care.
So, and there again, that comes down to the ethics, what a reasonable person would do. And Matt says all the time, politicians can be stupid and there's nothing you can do about it. Just nothing you can do about it.
Well,
if a politician is stupid, but I'm going to disagree with them. There's no law against stupidity.
The problem is to tie this circle back together. That whole what you're describing, that scenario has to do with the common man that is doing just fine, and he don't have no worry in the world. He ain't worried about none of the politicians. And he don't care how hard he's getting screwed because he has plenty of money. It don't matter.
Until you wake up in the cage.
At the end of the day, folks, if you have plenty of money, you hardly think that there's anything wrong, right? You have plenty of money to pay more taxes. You have plenty of money to pay for an inflation. You just have plenty of money. And none of that shit matters. It just don't.
No, it comes down to the things.
There's a few, don't get me wrong, there's a few people that give a shit, but not many, right? I mean, if your bank account is plenty full, you have a really hard time giving a shit about what's going on at the county building. I can tell you.
Well, unless it has something to do with your ego. And then you're going to get involved. That's what I've seen. And agendas and egos.
It's back to the principle. Matt gets mad at me because I say it's the principality. He said, no, it ain't, it's the principle. Whatever, man. I don't give a shit what you think.
I know what you said.
I know what I'm saying.
And
I made that word up, and I can say whatever I want to say.
Shit ahead.
It's the principality of what you're thinking. It's the principle of it all. Do you actually even care? And that's what we've been saying a long time on this podcast, folks. Do you even care? Do you care? Or not?
And Steve, that reminds me of a verse. Jesus says, if you love me, you'll do my commandments. That means you care. That means you care.
And
you know what I mean?
Built in at the factory. How many
built
words is that?
In
built in at the factory. It's 5 words, folks.
Yeah, and all that blends together so beautiful in a good, healthy, wholesome environment.
And then the sixth word on that is repent.
Absolutely. Stayed repent.
Well, so I mean,
keep repenting. I mean, because all of us
either you have it figured out or you don't. But hopefully, if you have a chance to figure it out, then you will repent.
Absolutely. That's the major repent. And then there's also a growth repent. As you grow in the grace and knowledge of what's right and wrong, and the more right you put on, you go, oh, that's wrong. I didn't know. That's another conviction. But that's individual convictions, and that's your individual growth in your life.
I always had this thing that occurred to my mind. It's like somebody stepping on your toes or smashing your finger, right? If you did harm to someone, you did it regardless, right? And it doesn't matter what you think or say. Like if I smash your finger, I can say, well, I didn't smash your finger, but it's like, no, but you did, because it's turning black and blue.
I just watched you.
I can feel it.
I can feel it.
It hurts.
It hurts.
Well, and it does, right? And that's that trespass, do unto others, trespass not, do unto others as you want others to do.
Unto you, yeah.
Trespass not, right? I mean, that's that whole thing. Are you actually infringing on someone else's energy?
Well, here again, and you don't want to repay evil for evil, because then you're causing somebody else to make you sow something.
Yeah, revenge.
That you don't.
Revenge is not the key.
No, it is not, and that's what I'm kind of hopefully we honored Charlie Kirk enough to not be a simpleton and go out and take the, retaliate because we feel so offended. We want to exercise our anger and our grief. I'm hoping that's not what's going to take place.
Me too.
But at the end of the day,
that's not the fish I'm frying, and it's damn sure bigger than the fish I've been frying.
Right.
That's not me.
No.
Right. Whatever is me is right here. What
right
we're
here.
doing.
Yep. Absolutely. So at the end of the day, what we want to talk about is a threat that's upon us right now, and that's the.
So do you want to go with Proposition 82, or you want to talk about the Wet Mountain Valley Outdoors first?
So however you want to go. I know I'm going to use the little boys' room. I'm going to be back in 2 seconds. My back is killing me. My whole being is killing me. But I'll be right back.
Okay.
So yeah, start talking about whichever one you want to. Oh Jesus, did I unplug us?
Oh, the whole thing's dead. Well, so I was touching on it, folks, when I started the conversation this evening about the left and their thought process, right? So they have this, and it's really hard to describe, in my opinion, but I'm going to call it it's like socialism, right? Where they think they can manage something that doesn't belong to them. And so, I mean, it's really deep, and it's really hard to kind of get wrapped around here, but I guess we can start some at the Wet Mountain Valley Outdoors. So that was on Monday. It's all a blur. So, and I can't think of what the actual statewide organization is, but it's a nonprofit, right? They're going to get $50 million in the next 5 years to do projects. And it's actually, I mean, it was educational as well as, I mean, so there's some good and some bad things from the local level at the Wet Mountain Valley Outdoors. So I went over there, and I would say there was approximately about maybe 60 people in there. A lot of them were older, not very many young people at all, right? I mean, like hardly, there wasn't nobody under 30, right? There ain't no 20-year-olds in there at all. They were asking these questions that they had previously drafted, and I have to kind of hand it to the guy Bill, that he's a mediator. He gets paid to orchestrate this. Wet Mountain Valley Outdoors got a grant for $100,000, so they pay Bill and his team to come in and mediate this meeting. And the first meeting, I mean, I've been to third grade. I don't need to be treated like a third grader. I don't need to play kumbaya. I don't need to get to know my neighbor. I don't need to play patty cakes and all of that stuff, right? I mean, I don't. I already know the people that I want to know. And if you got enough guts and enough gall and enough wherewithal to come up to me and look me in my eye and shake my hand, then I'll, we can introduce. But I'm not going to play this, let's put on a name tag and we're going to set it at a table, and we're going to set it at the table by color codes, and so you can meet somebody new. And it's like, that doesn't fit where I'm at, right? I'm too harsh and intense for that, or whatever, right? I mean,
there's division.
I'm a man's man, whether you want to admit it or not.
Absolutely.
Right?
But the whole
and if
thing,
not, come up here and there and tell me that to my face and see what happens, right?
Right. Well, but
then
the
all
thing
of a
is,
sudden
we're aware of the division in the belief systems. We pack a kingdom inside ourselves, and we know people we can get along with. We also know people we can't get along with.
Exactly. And so at the first meeting, I'm trying to paint the picture here, right? So this was instigated by people that are left-leaning. Of course, they're left-leaning because they're the only ones that pay attention how to get money from the grants. But so they drafted this whole thing, and they had these questions, and one of them that really made me want to speak out was that they wanted to manage stuff. They wanted to manage this and they wanted to manage that. Well, what you're trying to manage don't belong to you. It belongs to me. And it belongs to other
Landowners.
ownership. It belongs to people.
We don't have a lot in town.
This is a free country,
not
and we own stuff. This is not socialism or communism. And you can't manage something that doesn't belong to you. So that whole concept of we want to manage this and we want to manage that, right? It's like,
we'll run you. We'll show you what to do, Stephen.
well, and so we're going to go through that with Proposition 82 about how this is all tied together. And what I opened the conversation with to start with, it's the liberal left-leaning mindset. It's the disillusion of how they think that they have the right to control something that doesn't belong to them. Man, my forefathers bled and sweat and
died.
Killed and
Killed and died
to get here, right?
You betcha.
And it's not over yet, right? It's not kumbaya time, folks. Not
The battle rages.
Ask Charlie Kirk about it, right?
Battle rages, folks.
So when we got in there, about 60 people in there. Well, they had this QR code, and so they would ask these questions. And the guy that was mediating it, I kind of had to hand it to him because he's in the line of fire here. And I thought he did a real fine job of being a neutral mediator. I mean, I don't know if I'd go as far as being a statesman, but he was bordering on the statesman's qualities, right? He was trying to take everybody's opinion and everybody's voice and compile this data, right? Folks, we're talking about, and so this is how I have a little bit new take on what they're doing, is they're actually trying to compile data from the community together to try to come to a common spot of what we want to do with the money that's being allocated. And of course, there's a lot of room for danger there. But the biggest problem is what we were talking about earlier, right? The people that are there, the people that instigated, the left-leaning people that instigated the whole thing, right, are trying to slip it under our nose. They're trying to do stuff that's not conducive to ownership, freedom, sovereignty, all of this stuff, right? They want to socialism. We want to manage your assets that you've
acquired.
Yeah, that you own. We want to manage the assets that you own.
We're going to take possession of it.
Potentially try to take possession of it.
Fine you so much money.
Well, and we'll get into that.
You'd have to forfeit.
We're going to get into that. That has to do with Proposition 82. But right here,
but it's the same thing.
It is, but it's not completely because not completely because the only people that are at fault are the people that didn't show up. And there's a shitload of y'all that didn't show up and do nothing. You want to bitch and moan, but you ain't bitching and moaning while you showed up. You didn't show up. I showed up. I spoke up for what I believe in, and I spoke up for the people that were a part of this.
Absolutely.
But without that, they're going to run away with us, folks. And so there's quite a few people. That's where I was going with this thing. So about 10 to 16 people were voting on their phone.
Oh, the QR code?
The QR code. And a couple old ladies, no, I'm not being derogatory by old ladies, but kind old ladies that showed up to try to keep track of what is going on. They're like, whatever you're talking about doesn't fit because you're not taking a true sample of what we're doing here. You're only taking a sample of 16 out of 60, so you're only getting about a quarter of the people that are even participating with your little QR code, right? So the guy's like, I got you. I understand. And so this
why'd you even try it?
This next, well,
it's a good attempt.
It is what it is. I mean, we're feeling it out here, and
Sure.
unless you speak your mind, you come up and you voice your opinion. Nobody knows what you're thinking.
No one knows. They can't read your mind,
Can't
man.
read your mind,
You
right?
got to get your mouth open and use your First Amendment.
So after these gals said something, then the later part of it was all by show of hands and verbally. There was no more cell phone.
Yeah,
And-
go
and-
back to the old-fashioned way.
And it was actually, I thought, quite
Telltaling.
well.
To revealing.
It was beneficial.
Absolutely.
It was beneficial because we got to a common place. Most of the people in that room didn't want nothing to do. They don't want Wet Mountain Valley Outdoors here, but they're already here, folks, because they already got the money. And so what it boils down to, instead of playing ostrich in the sand, and that's what they keep trying to say, is like, well, you don't have to be a part of this. You can just go home. Well, so what does that do, right?
That pisses you off.
I'm going to take my truck and go home. Well,
You don't play right.
the sandbox is still going while your little bitch ass went home. Everybody else is still playing in the sandbox, and the sandbox is still growing, and the sandbox has got money, right? So it's on you because you're a weakling, because you can't stand up and be a credible and reasonable human being and have a realistic conversation with somebody that doesn't agree with you. And that's what I learned from this whole thing. We need to be there. We need to voice our opinion, because otherwise the only people there are the people from the left. So we're over here thinking, well, they're going to try to take all our stuff, and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. Well, they will if you let them. And that's the whole moral of the story, is you got to show up and you got to defend what you got to put your input in.
Freedom of speech.
You got to voice your opinion and
gotta-
tell them what you think, because we have just as much say as anybody else. But if you don't show up,
You ain't done nothing.
yeah,
Just like at the caucus that's coming up.
Silence in the
You
night.
don't, if you don't get involved, in a timely manner, you lose that window of opportunity to leverage.
But there was some real funny shit going on there. Like this one guy, he's like, well, the outdoors has got to be safe. It's got to be safe. And I'm thinking to myself,
Jeez.
dude, ain't you been out in the outdoors? All outdoor recreational activity is inherently dangerous. It just is.
We're gonna protect you, though. Let me protect you,
The
Steve.
woods have bears. The woods have rocks that you can twist your ankle on. The woods have cliffs that you can fall your ass off of. The woods have trees that'll fall over on you. I mean, there's just inherent danger.
Lightning, rain,
Inherent. I mean,
any kind.
outdoor recreational activities are inherently dangerous. That's part of what is the allure. It's the adrenaline.
Yeah, it's absolutely
getting out there and experiencing it.
Yeah, and it's breathing and being able to adapt off the pavement. Get off the pavement. Although being on the pavement now seems to be pretty damn dangerous.
Well, and it is, but it is, but the whole concept, this socialistic concept of we'll keep you safe. But it's got to be safe. And I'm thinking to myself,
even at Christmas, stay
dude,
at home.
Yeah, I mean, like, shit.
Take a camera and stay in a car.
Get 59 million HEPA filters and don't ever come out of your house.
No, go Biden in the basement.
So anyhow, with all that being said, there could be one of the things that I personally would like to see is that the weed board.
Now, this is obnoxious weeds that contaminate hayfields and can kill cattle.
Well, and it's far more than that. This stuff, they're noxious.
Evasive.
They're evasive. They're noxious and evasive because that's what they are. It's just like a cold-blooded.
Just like a liberal.
Just like a cold-blooded killer,
Yep.
right? That's what they do. It's what it is. It doesn't matter what you think or feel about it.
It's what it is.
It just is what it is.
It's the truth of reality.
It's a noxious weed. Leafy spurge is bad shit. There's millions and millions of acres in Montana and out through there.
Done.
Once it gets to 60% concentration, nothing else can grow.
No, it chokes it out.
And so, like, we
Kind of
need-
like socialism.
Yeah, kind of. And so we need to take care of these things. And there's a lot of them, right? I'm not a weed expert. I didn't grow up giving a shit about weeds, right? I mean, all I knew was that you needed to cut hay and get that in the barn, man. And that's all that mattered, right? If there was weeds in it, try to get them before. Our whole weed management system was try to cut them down before they seed out.
Absolutely.
That's what we did with Canadian thistle, right? If there was a big patch of thistle, we'd try to cut it down before it seeded out so it didn't get bigger. But we didn't spray. We didn't do none of that. But some of this stuff like leafy spurge is a lot different than thistle.
Now, is that rhizome?
Yeah. And seed, both.
Oh, so it's a double. Yeah, absolutely.
And
They
it's-
both are.
and
Absolutely.
Some
yeah.
of the seed can last like 45, 50 years. So, I mean, your kid, you'll be long and gone. And your kids' will be dealing with the shit, right? And you don't know the difference, right? You'll be thinking, oh, hell, the weeds are fine. And you know, one of the most ornery things about them all is some of the most invasive stuff. You know how it got here? It was ornamentals. It was brought here overseas because it was pretty. Had pretty flower on it. Shit's wicked as hell.
Yeah. That's some little white flower. Yeah.
But
No, we're contaminated with it. And absolutely, if we're going to do something with taxpayers' money or if we're going to help the
But so back,
wildlife.
Yeah, back to my point, right? Wildlife's wildlife, right? You ain't gonna
That's why it's called wildlife.
something like weeds that are actually state enforced, right? We're supposed to do that through the state. The state I hate this word mandate, but the state requires us to try to keep these invasive species down. Well, we can't keep these species down in Custer County because we don't have no money. We blowed that on a wood chipper. We blowed that on a $100,000 sidewalk that we don't even want the courthouse to.
Oh,
So-
you mean the courthouse land? The land that we're
No, I
we're
mean the
paying
sidewalk.
just the sidewalk.
The
But I'm just saying-
$100,000 that they spent on a sidewalk at the courthouse that they don't even want anymore is what I'm talking about.
Well, in
So
the land.
we don't have an additional 25,000 to take care of the weed budget's like 12, 13 grand. So luckily we're blowing, excuse my language, but we're blowing Fremont County. And I know this because my dad's been talking to the lady. She's giving him all kinds of pamphlets and books, and they're getting a lady to come up from Fremont County to try to help take care of it because we can't take care of it ourselves because we can't pay for it.
Well, you got to be certified in those chemicals.
Well, you do
To
have to
apply
be
'em.
certified, but that's where the money
'Cause-
comes
'cause
in.
it
You,
used to-
you hire somebody to take care of it.
Right, and
And,
we
they
used-
haven't been able to do that. They were getting Huerfano County to do
Yeah,
it.
that's what I was
Because they're
getting
too
ready to
much little bitches. And I got an N-word in there too, little bitch N-words, right? I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about, little bitch fucking, boy. You're too concerned about everything else except for what's really important, right? So, but you don't want to take care of what's really important. But so that extra money could potentially be used to help facilitate what needs to already be facilitated, but we're too stupid and already blowed all our money. But so that $100,000 could potentially give another 10, 15 grand to the weed eradication program. And in
Steve,
my opinion, that's admirable, right? That's where the money needs to be spent.
Right. So kind of, I'm going to kind of put just a quick overview on this. You know, it's your hayfield and it's your pasture. And if you don't manage it correctly, we're going to fine you. And what does that management mean? That means, oh, you need to let the wolves come in and kill your calves. Okay, that's first and foremost. And then we're going to have some mountain lions too.
Well,
Gotta
see
have a mountain.
that's
We're going to manage it because you don't know
we're going to
what's going
get
on
in.
here.
We're going to get into all that because what they're talking about is managing something like fire mitigation, but yet you can't mitigate anything because it's natural wilderness. So that's y'all voted on that a long time back that you can't do anything. You can't have a chainsaw in the national wilderness, but yet you want to mitigate that. So how in the hell do you think that's going to work, folks? You already said, no, we can't cut no brush. We can't have a chainsaw in the national wilderness, but yet you want to mitigate it?
Genius. Geniuses.
That's exactly what you're just talking about there.
Genius.
And we can get into all that. But so to kind of wrap up my whole overview of the Wet Mountain Valley Outdoors.
And this was the Monday night meeting.
And there's going to be another meeting. And they're asking for input. And that's where the people of this county are failing themselves because you little bitch asses don't show up for shit. No, but they're going to do everything against us, but I'm watching TV. So you're letting the runaway train just run away, right? You ain't trying to get in there and hit the brake. You could have stepped right on and got on the brake, but no, all you want to do is bitch and moan about it.
No, you could have run back to the boxcar, the very one, and pulled the brake. You could have pulled the brake on anything.
Didn't have to run anywhere. Just had to. It was still going slow enough. You could have stepped right on.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on here, folks. So this Wet Mountain Valley Outdoors is not all that it's cracked up to be, in the fact that it's totally bad, because I mean there's money to be allocated there from lottery funds, and it can be used in a beneficial manner. And there's programs that need money, and the weeds is a really good starting point.
Yeah. And Steve, I didn't go to the meeting. Okay, I already had a pretty good idea of what was going to take place.
Well, I thought I did too, but after I went, like I said, my opinion has changed because we actually have a voice. We have a chance to step on the train while it's still moving slow enough. We can get on and do something about it. Is it complete libtardville that started it? It is. And John Van Dorden, I appreciate your willingness. We're going to have you come on the podcast. I mean, I really do appreciate that, because, I mean, that's what it's about, right? It's about having an honorable conversation, and anybody that actually has intellect can have a conversation, and it's all about numbers. Either I know what I'm talking about or you do.
Yeah, and I guess the numbers is one thing, but, you know, we're so far off of how this country was created and why it was created and the principles.
And all of that is fine and dandy, or it is what it is, but I'm talking about right now what we can do about this shit.
Right.
You have a chance to do something about it, not just bullshit and tell it how freaking fricked up it is.
Right. And I like that take on it. You know, you could sit there and get involved in and compromise your moral integrity.
I'm not compromising the fucking goddamn thing!
But you know,
just so you know, I ain't compromising shit!
No, I understand.
Just so you know!
I was just stating.
I'm just saying! Yeah. I ain't compromising nothing!
Right. So
don't come at me like that!
I didn't come at you like that.
It sounded like it.
No, I was just giving and I said it was my view.
I'm not compromising nothing! I stood up there and I made my voice clear.
Right.
I didn't compromise nothing.
Right. And where I was going with that, and I talked to you about this, I said they engages, I believe, in conversations that shouldn't even exist.
They do,
non-starter.
I know, but so what? Because we know they're mentally compromised. They can't think straight because they're mentally ill. And it's nobody's fault but our own that we don't show up and shut them down.
No, and I take my hat off to you. I'm glad you were there. I was in the heat of the battle.
I understand that.
Otherwise, you know,
I had it handled. Yeah. I handled it. I'm on the board now.
And there were several people, and that's great. I mean, you're engaged.
But because we weren't before.
Right.
Before we walked out because I couldn't stand to be treated like a third grader. And excuse my language, but you all folks know I really don't give a shit what you think. Yeah. Did I take the Lord's name in vain?
So here,
maybe a little bit, but at the end of the day, if you want to strike me down and fire my pistol into my leg, go ahead. I don't care. I don't care.
Steve, what I was getting at is non-governmental commissions.
So we're going to get into all the deep shit here.
So this is part of that. It is,
but
nothing less than that.
But it is to the point that we have a voice here. Now, that's what we're going to talk about. Proposition 82, we have no voice. They have already had the rules. Here, let's get... This is beyond. Well,
it's almost as the Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030. It's already written and documented and ready to be implemented. Now the compliance is going to be another thing. Complying with the nonsense that they're spewing out.
So that's the whole thing is that
And I have no tolerance for any of it.
You have somebody that's going to come in and develop something that they don't know what they're talking about, but yet they have the legislative power to try to put it to the people.
And the money.
And yeah.
They're taking
they got the
our money and using it against us.
So Section 1, the title, this act shall be known as the Colorado Wildlife and Biodiversity Protection Act. Section 2, the purpose. The people of Colorado recognize that wildlife corridors are critical to ecological function, species survival, and wildfire mitigation by ensuring habitat connectivity and ecosystem resilience. So that's what I was talking about, folks. They want to bring in fire mitigation, but yet you don't want to mitigate fire at all. So it's totally contradictory.
Chipper.
Everything about this is contradictory.
Chipper.
The whole damn, it's a wilderness. You can't take a chainsaw up there. How are you going to mitigate anything?
Chipper. That's why we went and got a chipper. You start to see the pattern of behavior pretty soon.
Keystone species serve essential ecosystem roles and merit heightened legal protections. The problem with the keystone species is, folks, is that they don't even recognize or they don't even say what it's going to be. They just want the power to say if they have a chance to. And when I was reading earlier what they thought, keystone species, wolves, mountain lions, and bears. The 3 apex predators. These are cold-blooded killers, folks.
There was a bobcat and something else mentioned in there too, I think.
You're talking about apex predators, right? There's a reason why the deer and the elk herds are going downhill substantially. It's because mountain lions are killing the shit out of these things. They decimate these deer herds.
Absolutely.
It's happening right in front of your face, but you don't even know what's going on.
And I'm
all you want to do is try to say, well, the little poor kitty. Well, let that son of a bitch get on your grandkid and see what you think.
Yeah. So to me, this is the erosion. This is the little, and Steve, this is where I was disagreeing with you to a point. Not that you're not doing a stellar job. I'm not going to get involved and engage. And this is how I would have said. This is what I would have said. Not anybody else needs to say it. Okay. Nobody else needs to say it. It's where I'm at in my convictions and what I believe. I'm not going to get engaged in a conversation. It's the same thing about my money being used for abortion and welfare and all this other stuff that shouldn't even exist. I'm at a higher conviction level than most people. For me to sit there and play patty cake.
I totally agree with you. But at the meantime, when you say nothing, they just run away with you.
Yeah, but
while you sit there and said, I'm higher than they are, they just run away.
And I'm not saying that.
That's what's happening. If your conviction is too high that you won't go to the meeting and tell them what you think, then they're gonna the only thing that comes out on the transcript is what they said.
Right. So I wasn't there for one meeting. Oh boy.
I'm just saying.
I've been to a few meetings.
Concept.
Yeah, absolutely. It is.
And I feel the same way.
Buddy,
I do.
Absolutely.
I don't want to go to that shit.
Absolutely. But you have.
I'd rather watch TV.
You have.
And I would.
You have to be engaged. Yeah, I was milking cows at 11 o'clock that night.
Current endangered species listing are insufficiently responsive to ecological data and may be influenced by non-scientific interests. This is all the purpose. The people of Colorado recognize that an independent science-based authority is necessary to preserve biodiversity and prevent the political dilution of conservation mandates. According to the purpose of this act is to establish an independent wildlife ecosystem conservation commission called the WECC, W-E-C-C, to oversee species protection and ecological integrity. So they want the, long story short, folks, they want to tell you about some stuff that they don't know about. They want to tell you about how a mountain lion should be. I mean, let's go to the wolves, right? That's where the nut cutting's at.
Buddy boy.
So these wolves are killing the hell out of things. There's a reason why mankind drove them back. There's a reason why, folks. And I keep saying it, I'll say it again. You wait till one of these wolves gets one of these damn libtards as little grandkids. That'll change your opinion about things. Once one of them wolves tears your grandkid to shreds, then you'll understand why our forefathers worked so hard to push them back into the wilderness. They don't need to be here. Whoever Jared Polis's husband is, right? Come down here and let your nutsack hang out in the forest and see if one of them fuckers will chew on it and see what you think, pal. Dumbass. So it just goes on to talk about how we're going to do mitigation. Mitigation means any scientifically validated practices designed to avoid, minimize, or compensate for adverse ecological impacts, including but not limited to habitat restoration, ecological offsets, conservation easements, or impact fees. You can't go into the wilderness with a gas-powered saw, but yet you're going to try to mitigate wildfire. Like, none of this adds up. All it adds up to is control.
Absolutely.
They want to take control of you. But they don't even know what they're doing. And that's how we started this conversation. That's the liberal mentality of socialism. I want to manage something that doesn't belong to me.
And I don't even know how to do it.
And
here again, Justin Kroll works for, who's he work for?
CPW, Colorado Parks and Wildlife.
Colorado Parks and Wildlife.
So this whole thing, just to clarify this real quick, this would be a parallel entity. WECC would be a parallel entity that would run alongside Colorado Parks and Wildlife. It proceeds to say that if you do something to one of these endangered species, they're going to fine you $500,000. And it also says in there that if something would happen to the CPW and they would lose funding and become dysfunctional, that they would take over all the power.
And they fund them.
All of that is on this.
So here again, they fund them. These people fund Justin Kroll. So they could take his funding and just walk in and take possession.
No, they don't fund Justin Kroll. That's the other way around. We fund them. They're going to get they're going to get $2.5 million from the general fund to try to start telling you. And their whole objective is to run off fines. $500,000 for one infraction.
Right. But Justin's paycheck comes from the state.
I understand that, but this is not the state. This is a parallel entity. This is a non-profit and a non-governmental organization that wants to parallel the CPW.
Right. And with the group of people up in the state, this is a plan that they have, is to eliminate Justin and the way they've managed the thing and put themselves in the place of that.
Yeah.
That's my concern. That's my biggest concern here, is here you got a group of people.
How can you fine someone for protecting their own well-being?
Because you have water rights we need for the cities, and you're going to own nothing and like it and get your happy ass down there on the pavement.
You're going to kill a wolf for trying to jump on your grandkid, and it's $500,000 fine.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's how bizarre they are.
And that's back to what the focus of this whole conversation is, folks, is the derangement of the left. Their inability to conceive what reality is. It don't matter if it's men can have babies, or we want to manage all your resources, or whatever it is. The left is they're at the heart of what is going on. The reason Charlie Kirk is dead tonight is because of this same mentality, this same sickness, right? It's not about righteousness. It's not about good heart and goodwill.
Well, there's none of it in that group.
And that's
That thing is
that's
hate
them.
America. America has to fail.
And the most ornery part about the whole damn thing is that they're the first ones at the slaughterhouse door. They think that they're going to save something, or they're going to do something with their blue hair and their little.
And they're going to get away scot-free.
They're the first ones to get slaughtered.
Be the first one on the butcher's floor.
Yep.
Period. And they're self-destructive. That's the problem. Very, very self-destructive.
That's what happens when you can't think. When you have no mental capacity, you are self-destructive.
And you're right. And Steve, that's what I was going to say. I'm not going to enable them. I'm not going to encourage their psychotic, or whatever it is, whatever their psychological malfunction is. I'm not going to. This is just me, okay? Don't take this personal anywhere. I am to the point in my existence, I'm not going to entertain a conversation of perversion. I'm going to call you out right out of the gate, and I'm going to tell you that you're pissing in the wind and that you're delusional and you're sick, and get out of here, because I ain't got time to play with you. Every day I get closer to the grave. Every day's a gift. Charlie was a young man with a beautiful wife and 2 beautiful little children. Every day's a gift. I've been shot, kidnapped. I've had enough shit happen to me. I don't care. I'm pretty free.
That's the way I am. I don't care.
I don't care. But I do care about the women and the children, and I also care about what's right and what's wrong. These Nimrods using my money, my tax money, and they're going to use it against me? You got another day. Yeah, that's a whole.
Going to get $2.5 million so that you can find me $500,000.
And you're going to try to push Justin Kroll, the guy that knows how to manage stuff, that's got his boots on the ground, that knows it intimately, and knows also the Constitution.
And that's another thing, folks. That's a good place to end the conversation, right, for the evening, because I mean you need to do your own research, right? This all came from. All you got to do is Google Proposition 82, and it'll come right up.
Talk to your commissioners too over in Montrose County.
Colorado General Assembly, right? 2025-2026, number 82, Wildlife and Ecosystem Conservation Commission. Right? It's right there on the website. All of that stuff that I was just telling you is right there in the text of the measure. It's all right there, folks.
And there's another YouTuber called, I think it's Big Timber. And I watched his expose on this. He did it a month ago. And he spells it out. Line by line.
Another thing here, too, that's interesting to me. So the last line, let's see, I get too many dang stuff opened up here.
Well, yeah, I believe our 3 commissioners need to be looking at this in a very serious way.
So the last one, or number 11, section 11, severability clause. If any provision of this act is found unconstitutional or invalid, the remaining provisions shall remain in full effect. Folks, the whole thing is unconstitutional. You're trying to get a couple of people that want to come in and write legislation that's against the Constitution. And quite frankly, right, our only chance is to spread like wildfire so that people vote this down. It'll come up on the ballot in 26. We have to vote Proposition 82 down. That's all there is to it. It's already on the ballot.
That's what it's here and now. And there's a lot of issues that we got to face in this county.
So why?
And in this state.
Yeah, and we do, right? And as always, county first, then state, then try to do beyond that. And that's what we're doing, right? So there's quite a few people that showed up. I mean, overwhelming majority of the people, they told, we don't want you here. But the orneriness about it, folks, is that they're already here. It's already an NGO that's been set up, and they already got money in their pocket. And you ain't going to make them go away because you don't want them here. That's why I'm saying intellect is the only way to fight them. We're going to have to fight fire with fire. They already got the money, and they already think they know what they're doing, so somebody's going to have to go in there and pull their pants down. That's all there is to it. It's the only way to get around it.
That's how you combat it.
There's no other way.
Yeah. You have to go in and get on their level and understand where they're at.
And not, yeah, you don't have to do any of that. All you have to do is tell the people what you think. That's what's happened is all the people, they tried to hide it. That's the first thing is they tried to hide it.
Almost like the sludge thing.
Almost like the sludge thing. They want to try to get it under your
Put
nose.
them forever chemicals out here, and they were keeping
unless,
it hush,
unless you
hush.
pay attention to what's going on to your environment. I mean, I totally get where Jimmy's at. I don't want to bow down, and I don't want to deal with shit either, but it's like either deal with it or face the repercussions. That's the whole thing. If we don't deal with it now, the train will be going too fast to jump on and hit the brakes. Right now, we can still just jump. I mean, it's just going at walking pace.
The momentum hasn't got going
No.
where they could really get their feet in. They could really sink their teeth into this thing. And if the people of Colorado will wake up to how perverted and how distorted these people are, and what is their mission? And here again, this is just me.
Well, and let me propose this. In my opinion, they don't even have a mission because they ain't smart enough. They don't have a clue what the frick they're doing. They just are blindly shooting at trying to think, oh, well, I feel this way or I feel that way. They don't even have a mission.
And you're right. And a lot of people are in that conclusion of what you just said. They don't even, they're just willy-nilly, man.
But yet they have
Right?
the money and they're at the legislative level making law, trying to make law.
So-
And if we don't pay attention, it'll get passed.
Absolutely.
And that's the part that's on us. That's where I'm coming from,
Yeah.
is that we have to realize that this is already happening regardless of what we think.
Right. So I'm going to take it a step further. Here again, it's just me. They know exactly what they're doing. If you look at the Agenda 2030 and understand that they have...
The puppeteers know what they're doing. The minions don't. This little guy over here trying to pull some bullshit about he wants the forest being safe don't have a clue about anything.
that you know of.
I can tell from looking at him
okay.
and listening to him that he
Okay.
don't know if he's punched or bored.
Right. I hear
You want the woods to be safe?
Jeez. Well, that's what I'm saying.
And you honestly
when
believe
you have an
honestly believe
uneducated,
that?
unsituational awareness person that's in there, being the mediator, you've already showed me your hand.
And
you already showed me your hand.
It ain't the mediator. I'm not talking about the mediator. I'm talking about the people that were in there that are the instigators of the whole Wet Mountain Valley outdoors. The mediator don't have nothing to do with nothing. He did a good job, in my opinion, of understanding what people were saying and putting that into. He's just the damn messenger, man. He's just getting paid to do his job.
And I look at it differently than that. I just am going to. That's me. That's just me.
Luckily, we still live in America.
Right. So here
But
again.
I was there and I talked to the man person to person, right to his face.
And I heard him right out of the gate on the first meeting, and that's why I got up.
I did too.
The reason I got
But
up
like
is
I said,
was,
I had a change of heart on the second one because I understood. I had a feeling of what's really going on here.
right. So I had a feeling.
It's not just him. It's John Van Doren.
Oh well, no, it's a team. It's a whole team of
He's
people.
just getting paid, man.
So here again, he's a professional arbitrator.
That's exactly it.
Who hired him? What does he really believe? Does he have any?
Who had the money to hire him?
Well, that's my biggest question, and that's
Not
why
you,
I want,
and
no,
not me.
Not me.
No, Wet Mountain Valley Outdoors because they got a $100,000 grant. They're the ones that hired him.
So here again, they're
They
making.
tried to slide it under us, just like they did the sludge thing.
Yeah.
But there's enough of us showed up that they are not going to get that done. And that's what I'm saying. Everybody needs to show up here again, folks.
Heck yeah.
All y'all that want to bitch and moan about it, well, show up and bitch and moan. Don't just talk shit behind closed doors.
Yeah, you actually got to get engaged. You actually have to stand up in front of a crowd of people that may not share your convictions or your belief system. And you got to actually express yourself with your mouth, with words, which is the First Amendment. And that's your first right of protection against the state. And if you don't do it, that's your problem.
And that's what
that's your real problem. You better man up somewhere along the line.
And that, folks, right there is the full circle, because we were just talking about how when we don't want to do it, we feel like we don't want to carry on a conversation of perversion, and then all of a sudden we realize that if we don't, then we're just what you said. Then you're nil.
You're nil.
Yeah.
And Steve, you're going to be diplomatic about it, and you're going to be kind and the way you are. But here again, I'm not that guy anymore, because I wore myself out being that guy.
I cut 3 or 4 of them off. I said, how can you manage something that you don't own?
Right. Oh no, you're right to the edge. Absolutely.
I wasn't being kind about nothing.
No. I'm just saying. Even when you're
nobody else even has that thought process.
Right. So even when you're forward, a little bit rough around the edges, you get your point across.
Well, it's still a reasonable conversation. I'm not trying to kill you with words.
Right. Absolutely. And I am, because I don't want to have to use my Second Amendment. And they're going to push me to the point, because I'm 62 years old. I've watched this dog and pony show from California to where I'm now. Well, I'm born and bred different.
It's back to that same thing. Is it really worth all that? Do you really want to strike them down with what you said, and you want them to be dead?
What I want is the nonsense.
That's the question.
Well, sure.
And I don't, right? I'm not going to I don't care that much. I'm going to voice my opinion. I got a connection to the upper level.
There you go.
And I'm not part of this, right? I didn't come from here, and I'm not going there, right?
Right.
So I'm just going to voice my opinion. I'm not going to condemn someone to death because they're a libtard.
Right.
That's
absolutely. All. And I will. I will grind them, and I will put them right in the wood chipper. Thank
God we're free men.
Absolutely. So I'm to the point where I've seen this threat that's sweeping the country. And Donald Trump, I believe, has too. And I think there's a group of us that understand the degree of the enemy. I think Charlie Kirk shed a lot of light on it, and that's why they had to take him out. There's an upper echelon of people that know what's going on.
Well, yeah, they're puppeteers.
Not that we don't.
And?
Yeah. So here again, you have a higher sense of moral code of what should be happening, and then you see what is happening. And you watch these people strategize with our money. And then they try to come in and take us over.
It's almost like fucking, you see them coming, but you're just going to stand there and watch them all run out when you could have shut the gate.
Just like that little gal got stabbed up there in the train there by that sick bastard. Nobody tried to help her. They were just, there's no natural compassion. I'm driven by the women and protecting the women and the children. Don't get in my way. Mama Bear's that way. Our moms are that way. Our moms are that way, whether we like it or not. You don't mess with my family. You don't. You just don't. You don't. I'm not going to talk about it. You flirt with that. You flirt with the threat. I'm going to take you out. You go bye-bye. And that's what we don't have. We don't have somebody saying, look, folks, listen, you have a problem. You're not playing by the rules of the game. You're demented. You're sick. You don't have any good reasoning in you. All you have is the power of rebellion against anything that's good and right. And when you lose that, when you get on that dark side and your conscience is severed, when your conscience is severed, you're a black hole, and everything you're doing is a black hole. And that's where these people are. They're black holes.
Without a doubt.
And I won't stand for it. They're going to play petty, just like hauling that sludge out of here. Thank God they repented, right?
Well, thank God they didn't end up in the ditch. They had no choice.
And that was the voice of the people.
They had no choice because we called their bluff. We caught them with their pants down. They legitimately had no move. They had no play. They had no cards.
And that's where this is at. I look at it the same.
That's why I showed up and threw my
Absolutely.
cards on the table.
Shit,
Bitches, I got 4 aces.
Yeah.
Take your little
Shazam.
take your little bitch ass ace high and go home.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't have ace high because I had all the aces.
I had them all.
You had king high.
They had deuces.
Didn't even have
2, 3, 4, 5.
Didn't even have a pair.
Didn't even have a pair. No, they had the smallest straight possible, and it wasn't even straight; it was crooked. So at the end of the day, that's what this podcast is about: is looking at the degree of deprivation and then combating it. And there's different degrees of combating the deprivation.
And at the end of the day, folks, right? It's you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar, right? It's like I'm trying to coax you. Jimmy's the greatest one in the world, right? The bull was in the barn today, but he didn't want to put a switch to his ass, so he let him get away with it. So there
Absolutely.
you go. Well, you pick your battles, and we all do, right? And that's what it's about. But this is a battle that's worth fighting, folks. Proposition 82 is not something we want to mess around with.
Yeah.
It's way more than the Wet Mountain Valley Outdoors. It has way more farther overreach than what this little $50 million over the next 5 years is talking about.
But they're also working hand in hand.
Well, of course they are, because they have the same thought process. It's just like all the trannies are the ones that are shooting all these people up.
Here again, when something is in somebody's heart, when they have something in their heart, and this is their mainstay, this is what makes them tick, is you don't need to be out here on this land. You need to be in the pavement. You need to live where we're in control of you. You don't own nothing. We're going to take care of you. You're going to eat bugs.
I'm going to manage something that belongs to you.
Your life.
I'm going to manage you.
Your life.
I have more of a right than you do.
Yeah. And see here again.
And that's their perversion that they think. They actually literally think that that's the case.
One nation under God. There's a pledge of allegiance. You can't take that out of me.
Yeah, the fact that they took that out of the school was alarming.
That's there again. You can see a pattern of behavior on how we're being attacked.
Take your ass over to the.
Get up in Ukraine.
Over to the third shit. Ukraine. Hell, that's where all the money is anyhow. Now it has been. That's where the Khazars come from. But take your ass down in the middle of Africa and see how you get along.
Get along way down deep in South America.
Take your ass down there and see about how your blue hair does you.
Well, there again, I'm just saying the perversion and the outrageousness behavior, the rebellion against what's good and wholesome, is at an all-time high. And this thing right here is a fine example.
And we've talked about it before, and we'll say it again, right? I mean, in my opinion, the only explanation is it really is the battle of good versus evil, right? So, I mean, the darkness fights the hardest just before the light penetrates it, right?
Absolutely. So I'm not growing weary and well-doing. I mean, that's one of the things I'm not going to do. There's no quit in me. I'm going to fight until there's nothing left, till my very last breath, period. That's how I'm built. Because I'm driven by not selfishness. I'm driven by unselfishness. I'm driven by thinking about others. And when you do that, when you're kind to others, you feed your own soul. And that's a thing you don't want to reckon with. That's all I can tell you. You don't want to reckon with me, because I'm not thinking about me. I'm selfless. I'm good to go. I've been good to go for a long time. I've been in positions where I know it was the grace of God or the universe, or whatever you want to call it. There was divine intervention.
With all that being said, folks, yeah, we're working on getting Taylor Lepresti's campaign together here. I know that we were hoping to try to get something done. Personally, I'm just too busy to,
We are busy.
devote my whole existence to try to introduce Taylor to everyone, right? But I mean, we're working on it. So hopefully next week, more than likely what we'll shoot for is Thursday. I mean, it's just, right now, it's just too much. There's too much. I mean, we got too many projects going on. They take too much time to break down the whole studio and try to take it up to Tony's and set it up and all that. So tentatively, we're going to shoot for a meet and greet up at Tony's next Thursday. Taylor Lepresti. I know Johnny was wanting to kind of keep it low key, but at this point, I mean, that's another thing that I feel a little bit. Everybody's like, well, I want to talk to him. I just me and you and him. And I'm like, dude, I don't have enough time to talk to one-on-one to this whole freaking county, right? Y'all can be civilized, y'all can be diplomatic, and y'all can get your ass in there and support this shit so we can get this done, right? To try to vet someone. Taylor and I have been good friends. I won't lie. I asked Taylor if he would do it, and
You instigated the whole thing.
He said yes.
Yeah,
folks.
It was.
I asked him point blank personally, will you do it? And he said he would. So now it's up to you all to get to know him. He is more than diplomatic, and he is more than willing to, and he wants to get to know each and every one of you. And so we're going to do the best we can. We're going to have public forums. Like I said, next Thursday, Johnny's been so gracious as to give us a chance. Right now, Taylor still is helping. He volunteers over at the Sawatch Forest through October. So he's gone Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? So that's why there's only 2 days to do it, and basically only 1 day to do it at its pizza place. That's Thursday night, because otherwise we have to break the podcast down. We've been doing pretty good. We went offline there because even though CenturyLink sends us a bill, that doesn't mean that they're reliable. I mean, they're reliable about sending us a bill, but as far as reliability, but regardless, I mean, we're not here to bash any of that. But so
one of the things I wanted to mention is with the eye opener that we gave, on the different issues that we're facing here as a county. Probably a good time to talk to your commissioner and maybe see where they're at with this. And I would really, really encourage anybody that has any kind of relationship at all with your commissioner to kind of ask them about what their take is on it. Because it sounded like the county of Montrose pretty much got Gunnison, yeah. But it was
It's Gunnison. Gunnison is the one that did it. That's what you told me. I couldn't remember. It's Gooper?
Yeah.
Something?
Yes.
I can't remember because, I mean, that was on Facebook, and there wasn't no way for you to share that with me for some reason.
Right.
So I mean, I can't remember what the acronym is, but basically in Gunnison, around that area, the commissioners told the outdoors people, and I can't remember the exact state entity, but they told them, get the hell out of here. We don't want nothing to do with you. And I mean, like I said,
and the reason was they stated the reasons how it affected cattle production, hay production, the oil and gas, the energy.
And the thing is, see, and so this is how it adds up. Is so you have all these people that want to come in and say all this stuff that don't know what they're talking about. Luckily here, there's not that many of them. There ain't that many. Like I said, we had them outnumbered 3-1.
Good on you, Custer County. Thank God you're stepping up.
Or that was my interpretation about.
Oh no, I think 85. I think somebody said 85% of the people said go on, get on out of here.
I'm just going by the voting, right? I mean, of the cell phones, basically 3-1. But I mean, I don't know what to say. I know that there's programs that need money.
Well, the states run out of money, the counties run out of money,
But the
schools run out.
lottery ain't run out of money.
Right.
The lottery hasn't run out of money, folks.
And that's why they're tapping into that.
That's where the CPW has been getting the money forever.
So they're going to use that against them.
The money's been there forever. People gamble. It's the
Well, they
nature.
want to hope to make some money. They want to win.
But the fact of the matter is that we can't take care of the weed program, so we're supposed to just kick them out. Okay, that's all right with me. I can spray my own weeds. I'm just saying, there is shit that needs attention here. So we're going to throw the baby out with the bathwater? Fine with me. I don't care.
Well, we'd rather not. We'd rather get healthy and whole.
So I mean that's why it's going to take a community collaboration with people of intellect, right? It's going to take an intellectual point of view to come in and actually determine out with the baby in the bathwater, or I don't know, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, weeds is one of the prime things that I know needs some help, and we can't afford it because we already blowed all our wad. Billy Bob Biden?
Courthouse specialist, sidewalk
Lucas?
specialist.
Lucas?
And they were told, look, you guys, the money's going to run out. The money's going to run out. You need to think, oh, we got to hurry up and spend it before it's all gone.
It's
the people's money. You would think that those three men, you two, Paul, I'm going to include you right in with the other two old boys there. We're a team, Jimmy, and I got to get along with them. Yeah, that's not really how it works, bud. You're an ignorant ass. You're a get along, go along guy. You don't stand up for principles, and you don't stand up for the voice of the people. You stand up for whatever gets your paycheck with the least amount of resistance, asshole.
Reason why Grandma's called you Boglefold.
Yeah, because you fold. You ain't no man. And you got two other compromisers in there who's selling us out, who are protecting us. They're protecting us, and they can't even get the book straight.
So back to the whole thing is like, what are we gonna do? Right? There's no one person that can make the call here. It's gonna have to be. It's a team effort here, folks, and it is, right? I mean it. I hate to be like it's a community thing, but it is, right? It's like all of us need to come together here and hash this shit out till we can get to it, till we can get the ship straighted and get her back on the thing.
Okay.
I mean, it ain't gonna happen. It's all gonna go downhill if we don't.
Oh no, you're right, and they got us by the short.
That's why you and I have been working so hard. We're doing our best to try to make a difference here, and we can't make a difference on our own. But if we just keep talking to people and get more people involved and more people involved. And who knows? Hell, maybe one of these libtards actually has a good idea. Hell, I don't know. But I can tell you one thing back to what the conversation started with. It's mathematics. I can mathematically prove whether it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle, bitches.
Yeah.
It's all it takes for me. I don't need any more or any less than that. 3, 4, 5.
So here again,
real
Stephen,
simple shit.
If you come up with an answer to the problem, I'm going to almost guarantee you it's sound reasoning. And I'm going to agree with you.
Well, yeah, because
so wait a minute.
We want the shit to be square, and we know that a 3, 4, 5 triangle is square. So it's like
30, 40, 50. I don't care how you go. Here again, at the end of the day,
45, 90, right?
So at the end of the day, we need people with a sound mind that are reasonable. The things that we're combating are so unreasonable.
They are unreasonable.
These are non-starters. These are things.
Well, And it's easily explainable when you think of where it came from, of they're mentally incompetent. It's an illness. They're mentally ill, right? And not in this like stereotypical way. It's you're mentally ill because you have no reasoning ability. You don't know mathematics. You don't know logic. You don't know words. All you know is that a man can have a baby. Boy.
So the perversion in their mentality causes them to come up with this kind of thinking. They're so demented. There's no sound mind in them.
No, that's literally why it's a mental illness.
Right. So here to me, they need to be, and that's where I come. I just cut right to the chase. I'm not going to sit here and talk about your little poppycock idea. I will. Okay. I'll entertain myself over your madness. I'll sit there and engage in your madness. But at the end of the day, I'm flat out going to tell you, you're sick, and that ain't going to work. Just like the hauling the dookie out of the sludge pond. You're mad. Oh, it's already contaminated. We can contaminate it some more and save some money. Well, what kind of asinine mentality, what kind of heart do you have in you?
We got lied to the whole time on that deal, so we don't know if we could have saved money or not. It was all nothing but a lie.
Tons of lies.
I had a pretty good conversation with one of the commissioners on Monday night about that whole thing, and it doesn't add up.
No, it's still scary.
And I damn sure don't trust Round Mountain as far as I can throw them.
No, here again, we're just in this environment of perversion. And it's not wholesome, it's not honest, it's not transparent. It's all about...
All of that plus just blatant out lies.
Brazen. And that was the word that Mike used earlier, was they're just brazen. They're pretty bold in what they're doing. And if we don't combat it and be somewhat civil about it, as long as we can be, there'll be a time when civility is going to get taken off. I don't wish for that day, but I'm ready for it. I don't wish for it, but the madness that lies in these people's hearts and their minds, their lack of...
Well, and that's why I'm ready any day for Judgment Day.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting ready to say. Oh, judge not that you be not judged, because whatever judgment you judge with, you'll be judged with. Well, a lot of these religious people don't have a clue on the depth of that. But God expects, he says a spiritual man judges everything. I do. And I know me. And I'm defined now. I'm good to go.
And so let's get back into where we started this conversation with, is, for me, judge is not anything but, it's a measurement. Is it a 3, 4, 5 triangle? I know if it's right or not. And I don't...
There you go.
I don't have... It's not a racial... Or I'm better than you type of judgment.
None.
I'm not judging you because you're a pauper and you're a dirty lowlife. All I know is mathematics, and that's all I care about. It really is. 3, 4, 5. Or 90, 45, 45, or 30, 60, 90, or what, you know.
There you go. Absolutely.
The numbers add up, and nothing else does.
Right. And that's the environment that we're just in, and it's psychotic.
But the cool thing about it is it really is cool, because there's light at the end of the tunnel, folks. We have a measuring stick here. We have a way to tell what is right and what is wrong.
We can gauge it.
Yeah, we can literally measure it, gauge it, shoot it with the transit. I know if your ass is level or not.
Absolutely.
We have devices to concur about reasoning and mathematical relationships in this world.
And water seeks its own.
It does.
Water will seek its own.
Yeah, you want to put a level on something, fill it full of water. That's how you can tell if it's level.
That'll tell you. You shoot that footer with pretty liquidy concrete, just walk away. Just go ahead and walk away. But if the rain's coming, you better pour it tight. And you better work it. That's how I think. That's my thinking.
I thought you knew how to control the rain.
I did, but I lost that. I lost that a while back. That was one of them harsh realities. It didn't work. No, and I already said that it was going to rain that day. I told Matt it's going to rain today out there.
Let's cut some hay. Cut it all. Flatten the whole ranch.
Get her done. Get her done. But at the end of the day, we got a beautiful community here that we need to keep. We need to keep it. And what does that mean? I mean, what are we keeping? What are we doing?
That's the whole thing. It means taking care of what we got, and there's mathematical relationships there that we can prove what we're doing. This whole thing that Grape Creek is polluted, but you don't really have any scientific evidence. Yeah, you've taken a stray test here or there, but you don't mathematically monitor the son of a gun like you need to really prove what you're talking about.
You test it in order to measure your slant on the narrative that you're trying to produce. You measure it according to what you want to show up, so that you can taint the decision making of other people by lying and misleading them.
That's one thing about numbers, is that you can make them do whatever you want to do.
There you go.
But that's back to what I've always said. You can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to me.
Well, and here again, we have 3 commissioners, and I think they owe us a duty. They owe us a duty, and I would like to see at least one of them on this podcast sooner or later,
Well,
where they can do some splaining.
as you can see, Mr. Lepresti damn sure didn't have no fear in his shorts.
None. And Vogelson saying, "Oh, I'm going to have town hall meetings, you know, and get stuff, to get the issues out there." And then we have the cabal outside the courthouse that's running it, that doesn't invite people, you know, the CPPs. They're just sitting there, oh no, we don't want anybody to mess with what we're doing. That is such suspicious behavior in itself. It's unmeasurable.
It's actually, when you really understand human behavior, it's far past suspicious. It's
rank.
Well, it's it's explanatory.
Oh yeah.
You can,
Yeah,
you can tell what they're doing by their actions.
It's so reproachable, and that's what part of this is all about, is being above reproach. You can't create an environment of suspicion, and that's what that statute was saying. Is if you have a suspicion, if you're suspicious of something that's taken place, the DA has to come in and investigate it. That's how that works. But here again, we just live in a foul time.
Yeah, and the problem, I mean, that's the big problem at the national level, is the judicial system is so corrupt.
Yeah.
There is no honest justice at this point. It's just who has the most money and who knows who.
And it almost seems like as long as they're getting their paycheck, they're going to do just enough to keep the paycheck coming in, but don't make any waves. Don't make a stand.
Yeah, of course.
Don't make a stand. Don't say, look, our country's. It's like
that's
Trump.
Because most people are compromised financially.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah, and that's where the decision making goes awry. It gets contaminated. And when people are in a breach like that, they really need to dismiss themselves from any kind of public service. That they would do their own self a lot of good and the public a lot of good, is to dismiss themselves of, if they're having to make decisions based on their monetary gain, they need to dismiss themselves. And I really take my hat off to Taylor, because he didn't even know it paid anything, and he was willing to get involved.
Yeah, he thought it was voluntary.
He thought it was voluntary. So that in itself speaks volumes to me.
Well, that's one of them. That's what checking the square 3, 4, 5 really is.
Yeah, absolutely.
We already checked you out, and then there's some people around that are like, no. It's like, argue with him. Don't argue with me. Bring your concerns up with Taylor. He'll tell you what he's thinking.
Well, not only that, but a lot of the questions and concerns from the constituents are the issues that he's going to want to address.
He'll have to address.
Well, these other guys don't. He don't have to address them.
They do address it. They address it by sweeping it under the rug.
Well, that's not a, yeah, there you go.
They're addressing it plenty. They took the broom and swept it, pulled the rug up and swept it under there. They addressed it. And that's how they addressed it.
So addressing it to me means confronting it and addressing it.
They confronted it by flipping the goddamn carpet up and sweeping the dirt under the carpet and flipping it down.
Yeah, to me
that was that was a blatant maneuver.
Yeah, that to me that's just ignoring it and going on.
They didn't, but that's what I'm saying. They didn't ignore anything. If they would have ignored it, they would have just walked by it. They blatantly
tried to disguise it.
Blatantly flipped the carpet up and swept it under there and flipped the carpet back. Complete and utter intention. They did it on purpose.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they didn't ignore it. They did it.
Yeah. So in properly addressing it is what we need, is to be able to confront the situation, have a good discussion about it, and find out where we're going with some common sense and, like you said, some intellect. You need a little bit of intellect.
All we need to do is crunch the numbers.
Yeah.
But
this is how far this is how much money we got, and this is how far we're going to go.
Evidently, Vern, the IT guy that can't figure out anything,
Cranium.
old Vernie baby, and now he's in control.
And he's making more money than old Bill Canda. Old Bill Canda said, "They can't make more money than me." I'm like, you derelict. You shouldn't even be making that kind of money. You should be being paid by how you operate. Your ethics and how sound mind you have and the reason you have and how you can stay inside the oath that you've taken. Because the oath thing has gone out the window here. They don't have a clue. So,
Are the cows ready?
got to go pull 8 gallons of milk out of 2 bossies.
Well, we're running a little long. We're already 41 minutes past.
Are we really?
But
Interesting. That went by pretty fast.
folks, look to see us next week. We're going to plan on next Thursday night up at the pizza place. I'm sure Johnny will be more than accommodating. Hans Prahl has been helping us put together, or helping Taylor put together some of the social media stuff. So, I mean, you should be able to catch it on Facebook community page or whatever. As far all that's above my pay grade. I mean, I don't care.
Well, yeah, but you do, because otherwise you wouldn't have brought it up. At the end of the day,
I care about it enough to pass
Right.
the ball off to
so
them.
here again.
They hiked the ball to me, and I handed it to you.
Yeah, there you go. Your turn. Go.
Run. Go for it,
Run.
pal. I'm standing back here and watching
Run.
the devastation.
Get after it.
Yeah.
Get after it.
So
I'm hoping we'll get some kind of bank account.
that all's going to happen. I mean, we're just
It's an embryonic stage right now.
from our side of the thing. I mean, Jimmy and I have been talking about it because, of course, we're part of the instigation of this, especially me.
Absolutely.
But I don't know someone that's qualified, and I don't know enough about finding a treasurer or someone to actually run the account. I mean, ultimately, Taylor's going to decide that because it's his business. But so, I mean, that's where we're
And there's
at.
rules to follow.
Yeah, there's a lot of rules, and that
What was that? A 200-page deal with?
He's been doing that for the DOJ, and that's what one of the things that was really odd to me was he was like, "Do you understand how accountability they are?" And I'm like, "No, I don't at all, because the rest of the government is nothing but shit, dude." So I can't believe that what you're telling me has any merit at all.
It's shell
Personally,
it's
I'm just saying
shell-shocking.
the rest of the government ain't worth a shit. So you're telling me that the DOJ and where you worked at the DEA was accountable? Huh? News to me. And great, right? He's like, man, people get fired. They had 19 years on the job, got 1 year to go, and they get fired, and they lose their pension. They lose everything because they can't keep the book straight, folks.
Well, that's consequences.
And that's what we need. And so Taylor's well versed in that. So whatever happens with his campaign, the finance person that's in control of that, I know that we're going to find somebody suitable. I just don't know enough about it to say who it
Right.
might be or what it's going to
So
take.
that's in the works.
It's in the works, and we're still a long ways out.
We are, but we're here again.
We
If
still
it's going
got
to take
14, 15 months yet.
If it's going to take me 3 hours to cut the tree down, I'm going to spend 2 of it sharpening my axe. And that's kind of the
I'm going to the hardware store in
Getting the
15
chains
minutes.
out.
Yeah, I'm buying one of them carbide chains. I'm just saying.
It's just an old saying
Yeah,
that
I
the
know,
old
I'm just saying.
forefathers would say when that was all they had was axe. And we need to think in them terms. China's thinking in these terms.
Well, it's just like what you and I did yesterday too. The preparation is pretty much 90% of the outcome.
Absolutely.
Being prepared and ready for what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
The forms are level, the stakes are square, everything's ready to go.
Rebar's ready to rock and roll. Yippee-yi-yay.
Yippee-yi-yay.
So,
with that being said, folks, till next week, hope you have a good evening. Thanks.
yep, God bless, and keep Charlie in your prayers, his family, and what's gone on there today. Big deal.
See you soon.